It's rare to get an idea so genius. Super hot, COD zombies, and being blind. What do these things have in common? I don't know. But what I do know is that this combination has the potential to reinvent the FPS genre forever. But was I able to pull it off? Come with me to find out. Okay, I know what you're probably thinking. Who do you think you are? And what the heck kind of combination is that? Well, do you remember my fish tank TikTok? I put way too much effort in making videos for the cancer that's known as TikTok. So if you want to watch my videos somewhere else, go to Low Level Lobotomy. It's my second YouTube channel. I'm the 1 subscriber, by the way. Anyways, in my fish tank TikTok, I say, get a gun. I got this gun from my other project that was a massive failure. Well, that project was named Nightmare. The idea for it came when I had a dream that Uganda Knuckles was in my fridge. So I shot him. And then I had to survive an onslaught of different Uganda Knuckles of various sizes, just like COD Zombies. But this sounds like an idea for an amazing game. How did it become a failure? I hear you asking. Well, the answer is a hard one for me to admit, but the failure was me. I pretty much tried to recreate Call of Duty mechanics from scratch, and I didn't realize how hard it would be. I've never made an FPS before. I mean, do you know how hard it is to make a character controller? Just listen to what Bracket has to say about it.
First-person games are of course extremely common. And there's actually a surprising lack of information when it comes to creating solid first-person common.
But not just that, weapons and their states. ADS reloading, ADS in reloading, weapon swapping, weapon sway, view bobbing. It was a lot for me, okay? And I only have like 800 days programming experience. Wait a second. Is 800 a lot? My guns would constantly bug out. My code became a bunch of if statements and spaghetti. I looked at Doom 3 and Half-Life source code for inspiration, but the second I fixed one problem, another would emerge and I got frustrated and I quit. But the main reason it failed was because I was impatient. So I went to make the fish tank video. But the silver lining to that sad story was that the fish tank video blew up. Got over 6 million views, which is insane. We went from 16K to 150K followers. But that's just on TikTok. And we all know TikTok isn't real. What's really important is the 1.7K subscribers I have. Thank you so much. I had 260 subs before the fish tank video. Now 1.7K. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But what did we learn from Nightmare? Never start a project involving a dead meme. But more importantly, start small. If you've never made an FPS before, don't try to add all these features. Make a really simple FPS, then iterate on it. This goes for everything in life, by the way, not just making a game. So in terms of starting simple, what game is a perfect, simple FPS to recreate? Super Hot is a game where time only moves when you move and you hate red people. Super Hot started as a 7-day FPS game jam with a group of friends that apparently had little game dev experience. Now, there's an entire Super Hot game studio called Super Hot Team. They should have named it Super Team Hot, but whatever. There's even a Super Hot 8-bit version called Pico Hot. The gunplay in Super Hot is simply beautiful. You click on guns to pick them up. There's no view bobbing, weapon sway, no weapon swapping, ADS, or reloading. Also, time only moves when you move, which you'd think would make it more complicated, but it doesn't. I'll explain why later, but you cannot get more simple than this. So let's go ahead and model up a Glock. Glock? More like block. In most games, the player is constantly shooting lasers from the center of his singular eye. The laser hits things, and we could ask the laser about what it hit. So right now, our eye laser is hitting the ground. But if we look at this gun, it's hitting the gun. So if we make a little interaction system, we make it so that a little UI hand appears when looking at the gun. And if we click, we pick it up. But what about shooting, I hear you ask? Well, I made a bullet projectile that spawns when you fire and goes forward. But wait, the blind aspect of the game. We're combining Super Hot, COD Zombies, and being blind. And I'm currently imagining a blind person firing a projectile weapon, and it doesn't seem too satisfying. I think we're gonna have to diverge from the Super Hot path and make the weapon hit scan for that instant feedback. Let's get back to that blind aspect later. In Super Hot, you don't reload guns, you throw them. So if the player right-clicks while holding a gun, delete the gun from his hand, spawn a new one right in front of his face, and add a physics impulse to propel it forward. Now with that done, there's only one more thing to add from Super Hot, and that's time only moves when you move. But let's do that after we have some enemies in the game, or else what are you gonna see slow down? Your gun? Man, I can't believe how simple that was to create. See? This programming thing isn't so hard after all. So COD Zombies are the next thing to add. Why COD Zombies? Because my failed project was going to be like COD Zombies and I still haven't gotten over it. Anyways, this map is an abomination. So let's find a new one. But wait a second. Does the map even matter if you're blind? Why am I even making a game where you're blind? Can blind people even play it? Hold your horses, viewer. All those questions and more will be answered. But first, we're implementing COD Zombies. My favorite map in COD Zombies is the best one. The first one. Nachter an Toten, which means I'm blind in English. No, I'm just kidding. It means Night of the Blind.
That's gonna be a yikes from me here, Chief.
No, I'm just kidding. So I downloaded the map online from someone, but the textures were all messed up. But lucky for us, the way it looks doesn't matter when you're blind. But we haven't implemented that part of the game yet, so we're stuck with this for the meantime. But we're missing zombies. For the zombie, I used the starter asset robot from the Unity starter asset robot thing. I made the zombie attack if you came close to it using animations from Mixamo, and I used Unity's nav mesh to make it move around. We also need the zombie to spawn. Now, instead of having the zombies rip off the wood planks that they do in Call of Duty, I have them jump through the window. Because having the zombies rip off the planks would take actual effort and knowledge. Things I'm gonna get soon, I swear. And that's pretty much it for zombies. I made them red and I made them ragdoll when you hit them. And that's it. We're done. And now there's only one thing left to add. The blindness part of our game. Now, what do I even mean by blindness? Well, my goal going into this was to make an FPS that blind people could play. Just think about it. There's always colorblind modes in games, but never a blind mode. Blind people are always so kind. They deserve to be able to enjoy video games like the rest of us. So it's my mission to convert this into a game that blind people could play. Was I able to achieve this? I'll let you be the judge. I've seen these ASCII shaders, which turn 3D renderings into text. So I decided to make my own. Using a shader, we could take the current frame, pixelate it, calculate the brightness values for each pixel, then put a text character that resembles the appropriate brightness level in place of the pixel. For extra clarity, I allow the color of the original frame to bleed through the white of the text. I made a TikTok about this too, to funnel people into watching this video. I hope it worked. Anyways, this is standard text. Blind people can't read text, but you know what blind people can read? Braille. So if we just replace the ASCII characters with Braille, bam! Blind people could read it and enjoy the game. I hope future games follow suit by adding a blind feature to their games. This is still an awful lot of Braille to read even for a blind person. And also, let's be honest, this is an eyesore. So we could write another shader which makes things not render if they're far away, like render distance in Minecraft. Now things are much cleaner. I then tuned a few things and I added contrast, I increased the Braille resolution, and I added Unity particle systems and post-processing. I then added a simple round system, points, and doors that glow yellow, along with wall weapons and even a mystery box. The game has come together very nicely, but there's one thing left to add. And this could break or make the game forever. But first, let's see what Danny thinks about our game. Danny, what do you think about this game, man?
Yeah, that's really cool. I think if I was blind, I would probably like this.
Thanks, Danny. Now go muck yourself. Anyways, the last muckin' thing we need to add to this masterpiece is time only moves when you move. Now adding this is actually super easy peasy lemon. I forget the rest. It's so easy, in fact, I could add it in COD Zombies to the console. I do this with timescale. You see, in most games, there's this variable called timescale, which scales the time. It's set to 1 by default, but in situations where you gotta shoot Fidel, the game will lower it. This way, everything is slowed down.
Bitch.
So in World at War, let's set to 0.1. Slow, right? Now set to 10. It's 10 times as fast. Isn't that just amazing? So in our game, I binded our velocity to the timescale. So it's just like super hot. The timescale makes getting the mystery box and buying wall weapons so much cooler because it slowly comes at you, and I think it's amazing. And now we are officially done. Wait a second. Only 1 in 10 blind people can read Braille? I knew it was too good to be true. The game is available on itch. It's the first link in the description. The source code and project files, like always, are available on my GitHub. Or go to out.rip for the links. I also forgot to add any audio to the game, so it's completely soundless. And thank you so much to the geniuses that hit the bell without me even having to tell them. I don't post often, but when I do, I promise you, it'll be gold. So I recommend hitting that bell. Also, Danny, I'm really sorry about what I said. Like, really mucking sorry.